Okay, guys, so right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly cover with you threads bots. I'm going to show you how I'm utilizing Cursor to pretty much just scrape content from threads, and you could apply this technique for any kind of a platform that has Java dynamic kind of a rendering and very dynamic elements. So what I'm doing over here, I'm literally showing you how this thing works. This is easy. This is something that I've shown Fudal Kingdom Academy. So right now, as you can see on the right-hand side, you see cursor window. So this is what it looks like. Here's a cursor window. There's a bunch of other things that are going on as well. So, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to quickly upload this content over here. I'm going to start modifying this content in a way that where I'll start learning information. So what I mean by that is by learning is I'm going to be copying, as you can see right now, it found 41 content elements. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to follow the prescriptive recommendations of this threads scraper, this threads bot. And later on, I could just scrape any kind of elements on threads and use that in any kind of automations. So I'm using browser use library, and I'm using a bunch of like other libraries, but don't worry, you don't really need to know too much. You're going to get, as part of the Fudal Kingdom Academy, you're going to get access to the script, and you'll be able to do this. So you'll be able to scrape any elements. Right now, what I did is I scraped this, found, as you can see, I found one like. As you can see, what I did is I scraped this one over here. So if you follow this instruction, it says first thread content is this, so meaning this content over here, and it found, and then what I did is I identified the element for a like, and I pasted it the selector here. So, and then what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna press close. So obviously I need to change those passwords, but the idea here is what you guys won't have to understand is that when you're using threads bots, you need to kind of be ready to kind of modify data. Let's see what you do. Save the selectors to learn selector. Press enter to close the browser. So I hit enter. It's generating now the requests, and I'm gonna give it a prompt. Can you scrape next element that you think is worth scraping using same technique until you learn all of the selectors. So over here, I'm just gonna quickly do this. I'm gonna scrape the next element that you think is worth scraping using the same technique. And as you can see, it's gonna modify this. And it says over here, I'll help you scrape additional useful elements from the thread. Let me help you modify the script to include the selectors for other important elements like replies, reposts, and timestamps. So many of you guys kind of don't have the background in coding. Neither do I. That's not my expertise, but it's very easy and it could help you a lot. So over here, what you see is kind of a starting, you have prescriptive recommendations on the right-hand side where you basically have, it says open, it says, okay, let's go ahead and train this scraper. Let's train this bot to grab other content on threads. So when it says go ahead, press Control-Shift-C, open up Chrome DevTools and click the element selector tool. Then click on this. Click on the element you want to select, replies, repost, timestamps, and then right click, and then right click on the highlighted element, etc., etc. So I'm just going to show it to you. So what elements are you selecting? So I'm going to select replies, and I'm going to go ahead and hit Control-Shift-C. So Control-Shift-C, and there's a pointer arrow on the left. You click on this, and then as you can see, I could hover over this directly this way. And as you can see, when I hover over, it highlights this particular section. And what I do is I'm just gonna copy the selector and I'm gonna paste that into here. I'm just gonna say, this is the selector for replies. This is really simple, guys. Very easy technique. In earlier workshops, you have seen me do all sorts of other things relevant to kind of a Power Automate and whatnot, and copying big files and using all those different automations. And I'll show you how to extenuate that using Cursor. But over here, as you can see, I'll update the script to include the replies selector and test it. Let me modify the script. So guys, I'm using a different context over here. I'm using large language models over here to kind of analyze data. And I'll show you what I mean by that. But for now, as you can see, it says, now let's run the updated script to test all the 3 selectors: content, likes, and replies. So I just hit run, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test them out. So content, likes, and replies. So once I scrape that content, so let's take a look what it says. Now let's get additional selectors. Control-Shift-C, click, etc. Click repost timestamps. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna once again Control-Shift-C, and once again I click on it and I'm gonna look for repost. So this is a repost, and as you can see, it's kind of not being highlighted. So what I'll do is I select it again, repost, and now I'm gonna be able to copy this, right? Copy selector, and boom. I'm just gonna say that this is repost. So this is repost. And once again, I hit enter. So now what I'm doing is I'm training this model like on this particular data. So this way I don't have to pay any insane SaaS tools out there that are like eating up all the credits and just doing all sorts of things because they're not trained on this kind of data. What I'm doing is I'm training it. I'm literally explicitly telling it what I want. And later on, I could use this information to, with large language models, to do all sorts of bells and whistles, like to navigate across threads, to navigate across different places, paste that content and come back to me, figure out who responded to what, how, all that kind of stuff. So let's see what's happening here. What elements are you selecting? Timestamps. So timestamps, yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit Control-Shift-C, and then I'm gonna literally just select this, and like I hit that upper arrow, and then once again I hit time shift. So, and when you hit time shift, you could kind of, this is duration. When was it you want to kind of zoom in. So boom, I click on that, and now I'm just gonna copy again. So very simple exercise. To get this blueprint over here, guys, this automation blueprint, and this is timestamp. To get it, join my Fudal Kingdom Academy. This is timestamp, because using this technique, you could easily scrape any kind of content, and you could configure all of your bots to communicate with, engage with people, and save you colossal amount of time and interface with people correctly. And you could apply the same scraping technique against any other kind of workflows, sophisticated workflows, where you don't have to spend colossal amount of money. So over here, what you see Cursor do, and by the way, Cursor is only like 16 bucks or 15 bucks per month or 20 bucks, something like this. But it's definitely worth it. You could run it as an agent mode where it just kind of grabs data for you automatically, and it just keeps reiterating the same instructions multiple times. We could also build our own agent. So this way you learn how to do this. But over here, Notice how it's constantly prescriptively recommending me what to scrape, right? So once again, I'm going to go ahead and hit Control-Shift-C and select this element. And what I'm doing is what I literally built in Cursor, I literally built the scraper that is going to be used in ThreadsBot. So the reason why I built it is because it's a lot easier to do this than paying for the tools. Remember that, guys. If you're spending lots of money on the tools, money goes in somebody else's pocket, not yours. So I'm gonna specify this as username selector, and keep something in mind. Right now, you're looking at this, you're probably thinking, well, this is too complicated. I don't have any of those codes. I don't know how to do this. Don't worry, guys. This is relatively simple. You just need to follow the workshops, and then I'll show you how to convert all of those pieces together to make it easier for you to grab content. Now, I'm not saying that things like this don't already exist. Perhaps things like that already exist, where you could grab content from threads, etc. But you want to be doing it in a way where you don't get dinged. And because platforms are very strict on how much, like how you use their platforms, so you got to be careful. So there's certain things you want to be doing the correct way. And of course, right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the profile picture. So I'm going to scrape that and Control-Shift-C. Once again, boom. I'm going to highlight it over and boom. I'm selecting that. Once again, copy the selector. This is the picture. This is the picture. Now, the sky is the limit with what you could do with this, guys. You could create your own SaaS app where you could literally host it on the internet, create like your own Chrome extension and have it and give it out to people that allows them to easily grab that content. And you could charge for that extension. That could be like one of the ways for you to make money. The other way is to just use it for yourself, for your own brand. And as you can see right now, all of those selectors are being propagated. And it kind of knows that, hey, there's so many selectors, so many different things. But now let's run the updated script. Let's test all the selectors, including the profile pictures. So right now, it's kind of just sort of knows what I want. It knows my underlying goal. Why? Because I specified it in a prompt. It's a generic kind of prompt, but over here, what you see is, look what was happening. Now let's get additional selectors. So first, profile picture. Press Control-Shift-C, click the element selected tool, click on the element you want to select profile picture. In the DevTools, right-click on the right highlighted element, click reply. So we already did this. Maybe this step is Control-Shift-C. We're gonna do it again. Maybe there's other picture. So we're gonna quickly go like this. Yeah, so there's this, and there's this. So we're gonna grab that. And I'm gonna copy that again. Copy, selector. This is profile picture. So now the next thing what you guys want to do, we want to select the actual comments. And I'm going to see if it's going to be intelligent enough to figure out that there are comments that we want to extract as well. So notice how it's grabbing likes, threads, content, username, timestamp, replies, posts, profile picture. And now it's kind of updating everything. And once it learns all this, I can easily tell it to go ahead and grab all the additional data. So now let's run the application to test all the selectors, including the new profile picture selector. So we are testing that again. New profile picture selector, waiting for the content to load. And let's see. Now what we're gonna do is let's get additional selectors. Click the element selector tool, click on all those things, right click on the highlighted element, copy what other elements are you selecting. So it's kind of testing and retesting things, guys, to see if it's consistent. So it's kind of developing consistency. I'm gonna go ahead and hit here, and there is, let's see, there's other profile picture. Profile picture, copy, selector. This is a bigger version of profile picture. So now, as you can see, this is the bigger version of profile picture. I'll update this picture selection. So as you can see, this is all being quickly updated. Can you do this manually like other ways? Yeah, you could, but it's going to be more headaches when you're not prescriptively told what to do. You may get lost. So if you're like somebody who's not a coding expert or anything like this, then this is the way you want to do things with prescriptive-based recommendations. So now we could kind of see the script is getting updated, and it says, I updated the script in the larger picture, modified the handling for both profile and large picture, kept all the functionality. So let's update the script to test both profile and picture selection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to once again test it, Control-Shift-C, and selecting it again, profile picture. So boom, profile picture. And it says over here, profile picture, right? Then this one over here, let me just kind of show you what's happening, guys. When you select, it says Freedom Fusion System, profile picture. Then over here, you see generic. What you see here is generic. What you see here is timestamp. But what you see over here is profile picture. So right click on the highlight element, deploy copy selector. So what we're gonna do is precisely that. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna actually click on this element, and we're gonna copy this, copy selector. This is comment button. So the script is getting updated with comment button. So it's constantly getting updated, guys. So I updated the script to include the comments, added a new selector called comment button, added special handling for SVG elements like the comment button to get their outer HTML structure instead of text content, kept all the functionality the same. Let's continue doing the rest. So right now we could say, so what we could do next is we could click on this, and now we could go ahead and select the rest of it. So Control-Shift-C, and we're gonna select this content. Select. Copy. Selector. Thread. Thread under post. This is thread under post. Okay. So as you can see, this is all kind of taking place a bit more. And what you see here is I added a selector called threads under post. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna get another selector, and we're gonna click on this one. Then we're gonna click on, so we're gonna Control-Shift-C. We're gonna click here. And we're gonna quickly extract the actual pictures. So element 1, copy selector. So I'm gonna include, this is the thread under post picture. Picture or video 1. Then to simplify this, I could say, next thing what I do is this is copy selection, copy selector. This is thread under post picture video 2. post picture video 2. Picture or video 2. And now what we're gonna do, this is copy selector. This is thread under post art. And this is share. Well, actually, this is repost copies selector. Repost. Okay. And then this one is share. Share. Okay, cool. Now this whole thing is gonna quickly modify everything. And the rest is just when it comes to scraping, the rest of it is just gonna be, let's see. Yeah. So right now I'm just building, guys, the selector function, and you could use this function right away. In Fudal Kingdom Academy, you'll get access to this function, and you'll get access to like a pre-made product as well. So this way you could use it for threads bots yourself and quickly scrape things. Just make sure you use this, use another account, like threads account, when you log in, because last thing you want to do is last thing you want is you don't want to get kicked out or violate any kind of meta policies, etc. So you definitely want to be careful about that. So and the best way to do that is to kind of really be like precise with your prompts for how your bots are interacting with all of those different people on threads. So now I kind of got that everything out of the way. Now what we could do is we could actually build a bot. Now that bot could be, the format of the bot could be in a form of a Chrome extension. It could be in a form of something else. But the idea here is, so I updated all of them, etc., etc. Get the D attribute to see the path data. For the edit special handling, let's run the updated script to test all the new selectors. For images, pictures, videos, get the source attribute. Okay. For SVG elements, get the outer element, outer HTML to see the structure. For SVG path elements, hard, get the D attribute to see the path data. So let's go ahead and kind of do that. And it kind of just tells you exactly what you need to get for every single element. Now the rest is just, okay, now let's test additional selectors. So we're gonna, in this particular case, testing threads under post or post picture or video repost selector. So to test that, what we just defined, it says no elements found with threads under post picture. So now let's get the additional selectors. So now we gotta do certain actions. We gotta like click on a post and then kind of see that. To do that, yeah, to do that, we could go ahead and take a look at the, we could modify the script and saying, click on this first post and do the rest. Right now, I'm kind of scrolling further and I'm gonna select Control-Shift-C and I'm gonna select, let's see. So this is accessibility. I'm gonna copy this selector. This is video file. This is audio file, audio file, and audio recording. Okay. So now, guys, I think we're almost ready to go ahead and do something else. So it's gonna update the selector, and the rest, what's gonna happen is we need to summon all of those bots to start kind of doing things and looking for all sorts of activities. So let's do this. So this is the selectors that we picked, and we're gonna quickly iterate through them and grab them across the posts, across all of the threads. So it updated all of those descriptions and updated both the selector, both the main and testing loop. So another thing what you guys could do, you could literally just say, like, give it a command to tell it to just continuously keep running until you finally figured out how to do all of this. So this way you don't constantly have to prompt. So you could hit Control-O and it will just sit there. It will be testing things on its own, scraping things, validating until it gets everything. So this way you don't have to. It will save a bit of time doing it this way. But at the end of the day, what you got to understand is you always kind of got to verify, even if it does it on its own. paste. So right now what I did is I said, okay, based on selected elements, create a new file called threads.scraper and extract those elements from the first top 3 threads. So now it's gonna see all of this. It's gonna be like, ooh, I need to go ahead and create a threads.scraper. Well, and it literally creates a file called threads.scraper, and it's gonna store everything inside of that file. It's gonna load everything, and it's gonna be the file responsible for getting all sorts of things up and running. So let's see. So here's what it's gonna do. Class that handles all the scraping functionality, uses the selectors we gathered from previous scripts, implements methods to get content based on element type, text, images, SVG, etc. Scrape the top 3 threads from any user profile, save the data in the structured JSON format, display a summary of the scraped data. The script will open up Chrome browser visible to so you can see what's happening. Navigate to the specified user thread profile, wait for the content to load, extract data from top 3 threads, including thread content, likes, count, replies, reposts, timestamps, username, profile picture, save all that data to JSON. So, and let's run and display summary of scraped data. Let's see how that turns out, guys. So enter the thread's username, Thread Fusion System. And the cool part about it, you could do this with yourself, your account first, to get, because I have literally like thousands of threads. So obviously it takes a long time. So first, so I got, here's what's going on. And thread 2, imagine monetizing your commute, your travel, and your etc. etc. Thread 3, my response below. Thread profile picture. Here's a profile picture URL. And now press enter to close the browser. So press enter to close the browser. I closed it, and let's take a look. Here's what it did. All right, the great script has successfully opened the browser and navigated to the profile, found 41 threads on the profile, scraped the top 3 threads, saved the data to JSON file, displayed a summary of the scraped data. This data has been saved to a file named threads data Freedom Fusion System. And yeah, I guess we could see that file. I don't know if we're going to be able to see that file yet until I check it. So I'm just going to go here, and here's a threads. Yeah, so this is the file. We're going to open up Sublime. I like Sublime. It's not bad. So obviously you guys already see my Instagram username and password. Not good. I'm going to change that right after this meeting, but let's see. I'm going to go ahead and hit new file, and I'm going to just upload that here, this JSON. Boom. So now we got, what do we have? We have picture. Whether or not this is correct, remains to be verified. We have thread content. We have imagine monetizing your commute, travel, and life. In Threads Booster, you will learn how to build your brand and your digital product. So it's a bit clunky. It's a little like mistakes here and there, but overall, it's not bad. That's a great start. We have a timestamp. we have the username, we have likes, we have replies, we have posts. So comments, how many comments do we have? Did we get the comments as well? No, I don't really see the comments, but thread content, number of likes, number of reposts. But let's see, I could do this. Let's scrape it from a different profile. Yes, scrape it from threads.net at Romwells. Also, can you show the number of comments as well? Number of replies as well. And if it has any profile pictures, show that as well. And show, yeah. So let's take a look. Let's hit that. Boom. We're kind of moving in a fast direction, guys. And so I'll modify the script data from Romwells and ensure we captured replies and profile pictures, etc. Let me update the script. And yeah, I mean, right now it's the same selector. So it's kind of defining them. Okay. So it looks like I made several improvements to the script. Improve the output formatting, the emojis, and better organizations. Set the username to Romwells as requested. Enhance the display of metrics, and edit better visual representations between threads. Okay. So it opened it up. It's starting the browser to scrape. So that it's scraped the first one, multi-threaded implementation guide. Will help you build whatever, breaking it down into manageable tasks. So, and yeah, press enter to close the browser. So this is a multi-threaded implementation posted 2 days ago. Now, this is what it has. This data has been saved to JSON file. It's about thread summary, has 4 replies, has 12 reposts, was posted 2 days ago. Would you like me to scrape more threads? Currently, it's set to 3. So this is a multi-threaded guide. It will help you do this. Additional edit support for both regular and large profile pictures. Improve the output formatting with emojis and better organization. Enhance the display of engagement metrics like replies, reposts, likes, edit better visual representation. The script found 32 threads on the profile and scraped the top 3 as requested. Username, etc., etc. The data has been saved to a JSON file. Now, I could, of course, see that JSON file directly. This is the multi-threaded implementation guide, thread guide for digital moms, introduction to threads guide, gamma side. And over here, you could kind of see profile picture, large profile picture. You don't really see content itself. So we didn't really grab content. But what I could do is create another interface. Well, before I create this, right? Right now we kind of have it all on the back end, guys. So we have everything in the back end. I could create a SaaS-based interface to just make it easy to grab data and show it in a, like everything in organized form. But over here, what you see, we don't, so we see the username, we see the kind of we could kind of see not a multi-threaded situation. We see a situation where it's just kind of a, and what I mean by that is if you go here, if we go to threads.net at Romwells, we see things when you click on it. So the rest of the information follows, right? So we need to kind of click on that. Can you extract additionally the entire thread by clicking on the first post, waiting for it to expand, then scraping the rest of the threads. So now let's see if it can do that. I'll modify the script to click on first post, wait for the thread to expand, and then scrape all the replies. Here's the updated version. So this is kind of how we're building this, guys. It's a, it's one of those processes that if you didn't spend a little bit of time scraping things and specifying that metadata, you wouldn't be able to communicate with LLM in a way where it could just kind of figure things out because you didn't provide those definitions. And right here, you're providing the definition in combination with leveraging LLM. And I'll show you how more details for that. But for now, just kind of what you got to understand is we're getting this data. So I made some modifications, the script to handle threads expansion and reply scraping. Edit thread link selected to find clickable thread links. Created a new threads, scrape threads method. Scrape the main thread content, click on the thread to expand it. Wait for the replies to load, scrape all the replies with their content, username, likes, etc. Enhance the output of formatting to show all this data, main thread content, number of replies, each replies, all that. So we're gonna click on that and we're gonna run that threads scraper once again, guys. And this is a lot simpler than any other things out there. I've seen other extensions that allow you to download one thing or another, but it will never allow you like to download the whole thing. So over here, what you see is, so let's run updated script. Press enter. So press posted 2 days ago. So over here, notice how you click on it and it says posted 2 days ago, right? And there's different kind of data. I'm gonna hit enter. So now let's say I notice that we need to make few adjustments to better handle the thread expansion and reply scraping. Let me update the script. Add a longer wait time after clicking thread. Add scroll mechanism to load more replies. Improve the reply detection logic. Here's the improved version. So guys, do you see how crazy this thing is? This is literally like insane. Now, after you load everything up, you could either make that into a SaaS product or you could just use it yourself for your brand. I'm obviously planning on using it myself for my brand to just get a lot of leads and be able to do this quickly. But of course, you guys can utilize this bot as well. You could get it. You could purchase Threads bots either separately as a guide and learn how to do this, where you get to have all of those detailed workshops and access to all sorts of bots. So this way you could load them up and have it all executed. So this way you could get more leads and quickly get the right type of leads. Now, if you use any other kind of agents out there that are just kind of there in the open, then it could be difficult for you to use them because they all cost money, etc. So right now it's generating, it's thinking for quite some time. Here's the improved version. It's still loading. And if I click on it, it says from playwright library, it's importing a bunch of stuff and importing date times, etc. It's trying to kind of figure things out. So it's still generating. I literally told it to, it's taking a while. Go ahead and improve the speed. So it literally optimizing it to make it faster and more reliable. So let's see if that's what's gonna do, if it's gonna come up with something good. As you can see, all of this is loading quickly. It's just creating a bunch of arrays, bunch of other data, all that stuff. And yeah, it's about to apply that and it's gonna be good to go, guys. So I made several optimizations to make the script faster and more reliable. 30 seconds for initial load page, 10 seconds for content loading, 5 seconds for reply loading, improve error handling, replace timeslip with proper wait conditions using wait for selector instead of wait for load state. So let's run. Skip the failed replies instead of stopping on entire threads. So let's go ahead and take a look. Right now it's found 32 threads and it has an error. Immediately it managed to catch the error and it started working on fixing it. It's now running much faster. I notice we're still having issues with some threads expansion. Let's make one more adjustment to improve the thread expansion and reply scraping. So it's gonna, instead of clicking on the thread link, we now navigate directly to threads URL, which is more reliable. Edit a scrolling mechanism to load more replies by getting ready to the initial page. Okay, cool. So let's see. Indeed, is it gonna open up a new URL? Well, let's see. Press enter to close the browser. And let's see if it was able to find something. The script is now running much better. Opening threads in a new page, scrolling to load all replies, capturing reply content, navigating back to the profile. I notice we're still getting some duplicate threads in the output. Let me fix that by adding a check for unique thread URLs. Let's go ahead and do that. We definitely want to get to the bottom of this and kind of do this in a way where we're trying this out and solving a problem. So let's see. Now let's run the script. I notice we have a small issue with the variable names. After the last edit, let me fix that and add better error handling. Okay, let me fix the main function to work with the updated scrape threads method. Okay, and what we're gonna do next, we're gonna I think now let's run the updated script. Okay, we're starting the browser. Summary of scraped data, not so much data was scraped yet, but I noticed we need to fix username reference. Let me update that. So it's kind of like doing this, guys, figuring things out on its own, and yeah, just making it super easy. So it was kind of looping, guys, for quite some time. I had to pause for a bit. And what I did is I told it, look, it doesn't seem to be working. Can you train yourself to identify selectors based on already predefined selectors? Try to get something, try to get number of people replied on the thread. Try to search through other threads, GitHub repositories that maybe make it easier to recognize how to grab data. Try using browser use library to figure out how to scrape multiple threads and its comments and who communicated on a thread. Try to identify all of the elements. Also, I didn't see when you click on a thread that it shows a circle effect. I can't see what you're clicking or highlighting. Also, if you can maybe use XPath or other ways to identify elements, then please do so. And what you see it do, it starts searching all over the internet and it say, based on the research, I'll update the selectors and improve the script. Let me make things better. Better selectors, visual feedback, improve data extraction, and better threads expansion, enhanced reply scraping, um, more comprehensive reply information. So I'm gonna hit play and see what it came up with, um, to see how sophisticated that is, or if it needs to be trained more. So it's waiting for content to be loaded, still waiting for content to be loaded, and the content is not loaded. So the dynamic elements are not loaded. There's nothing to scrape. It doesn't know how to click on to a thread. Could not load a thread, waiting for a role article. I see the issue. We need to wait longer for the initial phase. It might be in different view. Let me explain. Update the selectors and timing. So it kind of does all those things. Okay, guys, so it's kind of stuck creating this constantly. So it's iterating through different types of possibilities. So it found like 215 content elements and waiting for initial elements. So um, yeah, I see this issue. We need to fix it. Let me try again with this edit. So it takes as you can see, it's somewhat complicated, guys. So when it comes to complication like this, it may make total sense to run some additional models out there that can do some deep level research uh, before invoking in any kind of other activities. So because dynamic content is a bit difficult. So let's see, a bit difficult to get. It's not impossible, but just a bit difficult. So we're gonna try to update the script with something else. So it looks like it even jumped into the world of mobile. So try catch blocks around the selector operations, combine multiple selections. So it could be iterating to infinity unless we give it more data, like more precise data. Connection failed. Okay, what we're gonna do, we're gonna slightly modify the task. We're gonna do this. We're gonna so we're gonna let's see if we click on threads, how do we identify this area over here? Um, if we click on a couple of pixels down to the right, that will kind of do this, but it may not be super reliable. Maybe I could click on this and click copy link, then load that article with a copy link. Let me see, like this, and it will expand everything. Yeah, so maybe we could do this like this. So now I'm just gonna tell it, okay, I'm gonna tell it to let's work a bit more on selectors. Let's identify selector that has 3 dots, hamburger menu. Um, let's work on selector like we did before for select content.py file. I'd like to create some more selections. Also, see how you can use library for this. So let's take a look. We are going to try to make this work. I'll help you improve the selectors and integrate better with browser use library. Let me search for some examples first. Based on the research, let me update the script with improved selectors and browser use library integration. So this is what's happening. So look, it introduced import selector, nested lookup, import nested lookup. That is pretty cool. So this is what happens when you know approximately good enough what kind of library you need. And yeah, so I guess we could try this lookup. So what it's doing, it's installing the playwright parcel nested lookup uh, to see if we could get that metadata. Otherwise, trying to get anything done without the right libraries could be somewhat complicated, guys. So what you see me do is tapping into um, just some of the libraries out there that could be used right away. We'll use that, use those libraries to see if we could scrape things better. So now it says get the full app experience, um, but it looked like it found 190 content elements. I see we just need to adjust selectors and timing. Let me update the script. So I think using Chromium um, library kind of did the trick, but let's see. I noticed a pop-up that said continue in browser or open up app. But look, it founding all of those different threads. Looking for thread containers, it found scrolling to load more threads. So it looks like, guys, we may be getting closer. We may be getting closer. Um, Also, I noticed that you're scrolling in a loop, in a loop. and it's stuck on 95 threads. I see the issue. Let me help fix both problems. The app browser needs to be handled. The initial infinite scrolling loop needs to be fixed. Let me update the script. So we're getting closer, guys. We're getting closer. So it looks like it's trying to get more data. Edit handle pop-ups method to deal with continuing on browser. Edit pop-up handle and both to load the page. Wait for the phases, tracking the pages before and after scrolling. Breaking loop of scroll 3 times. See threads in threads app. Okay. See threads in threads app. It said see threads in threads app or Safari. So it's doing mobile testing as well, guys. Um, I see it said in the pop-up. Okay, let's take a look. So now let's run the updated script. Get the full app experience. It shows get the full app experience and open app or continue open app or continue in the browser. There are two types of pop-ups. Okay, let me pop up the handler. Why 0 threads when there's a lot? Okay, what I found is an article for how to scrape threads. So what I'm gonna do is, it says like this is the file. So parse thread function, which takes thread object and uses simple James path key remapping function to reduce at least the most important part. Scraping profiles to scrape thread profiles would use the same approach. We use scraping threads post, scraping the hidden page data. The only difference here is we'll be scraping data sets. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and I'll go jump in into cursor. Can you take a look at this article? It talks about scraping threads data and see if you can use the same libraries. I see the article provides some valuable insight for improving our threads scraper. Let me enhance our code based on their approach, particularly their method of using hidden JSON data. So guys, do you see how powerful this is? Like literally, if you have some approximate understanding of what you're doing, you could kind of ask questions like this. And of course, in Fudal Kingdom Academy, you get to learn how to do this. So let me run the updated script to test the new JSON-based scraping approach. And yeah, let's take a look to see how, you know, how far we could get. So we got to navigating context. Okay. So it awaits and continue to thread, scraping content. I see we need to make few adjustments to better handle JSON structure. Let me update the script with better JSON parsing and error handling. So it's looking for data. It found some hidden, like it's using this function. And yeah, let's take a look again. Okay, guys, so what we're gonna do right now, we're just gonna quickly load this repository over here. And this repository is pretty cool because it makes it easy to scrape data. Okay. So we're gonna say, can you load this repository and see if you can adjust the script accordingly. So we're literally grabbing another library and just kind of letting it know, by the way, jump in and start using it. Based on the search results and scrap apply approach, let me update our script. Okay. So I'm gonna run that. Cool. Uh, so I'm gonna apply the credentials. I'm gonna pick the username and let's go ahead and apply this to this bot. Would you like me to run the script with your yes? So sometimes it could be just as easy as finding the right library. Already satisfied. Now we need to install Playwright for browsers. That's fine. Now let's run the script. You need to provide your Instagram threads credentials. Now let's run the script. Okay. Um, Password. So I entered my threads password, and I'm gonna obviously change it after this meeting, but enter number of threads to scrape. So we're gonna do 10. Starting threads scraper. Attempting to log in. Could not log in. Okay, let's try this now. Okay, so as you guys could see, I was able to get the data. Now data saved to this file. Finally, guys, finally, after all it took was just finding the right library. So finding the right library, that's all it took. Now we're gonna do some magic with it. Threads bots. Finally was success. It took a while, just needed to find the right library on the internet, guys. That's not hard. Sometimes there is no library, sometimes you just gotta reverse engineer things, and that's what I was trying to do. But perhaps I should have done a different approach of doing deep research first prior to reverse engineering anything. So this is just an example of a hybrid skill, guys. Hybrid skill that is not taught in college. It's one of those really interesting skills. Now, the cool part about it, like you will probably say, okay, so you got this JSON, that's good. Now, how do I extenuate this further? Well, there's definitely a user picture, which is cool. You could see that it's definitely there, right? There's definitely the URL. So, and that is cool as well. Now, um, let's take a look at this. User picture, images. Yeah, looks really good. Looks very good. That's exactly, if I show you over here, guys, if I'm gonna go here, this is indeed imagine monetizing your commute, your travel, and your life. So, yeah, convert. This is precisely that. So now what we could do, we could create another file and organize it and make it into, yeah, like this is, now you see the my response below. So my response below is, in here I'm only getting like, so if I open this up, I'm getting only 2 of them. You can get it as part of Thread Stack Power Bundle. So right now, what you could kind of see is that I'm getting only the first 2 levels of the threads. So it's not necessarily all of them, at least. I don't think, not yet. But you can also get it part of Thread Stack. Um, you could also see the time. Okay, so you could see this other thread, this one over here, and my response below thread as well. Okay, so this is a working copy, and you make a dedicated folder called working and include all the project files and repositories and everything that needs to be working folder, working, and everything that would need, that would allow me to simply give someone this file as a zip, this give access to the folder, and they would be able to, actually, I'm just gonna say include all the project files and repositories and everything into the working folder. After doing that, so right now I'm gonna push this into a working folder. I'll help you organize project into a working folder with all the necessary files. First, let's create the folder structure. So it's gonna create that folder structure. So for anybody who is part of my Fudal Kingdom Academy, you can get access to this folder and effectively have this fully blown scraper that just does things. Here's number of likes. That's pretty cool. Like the number of likes is kind of interesting. And I'll show you guys how we could expand that a little further and just build a bunch of other information on top of it. Like a very interesting interface that you could use. So I'm just gonna hit, okay, so I'm just gonna do this. Now let's create a proper structure in the working folder. So we have nested lookup, we have parcel, we have all of those different things. Let's create README file, visual feedback for clicks and interactions, scrapes, threads, content, supports, right? Now we're gonna include threads bot scraper to the working folder. And what we're gonna do is, it says data in the structure file. As you can see, it's preparing everything, exporting everything. Let's create git ignore file. So I don't have to be like a Python expert, but all of this kind of stuff, you'll be able to get access to as part of Fudal Kingdom Academy. I'll give you access to a repository where you could actually have it all running. So I'm gonna run this. The idea, that's the cool part about Fudal Kingdom Academy, guys. You get access to this. So CD working in Python, threads. Okay. Let's try a different approach. Later on, guys, I'll show you how to create something like Gamma to just quickly recreate that. So this way you could have fire looking presentations inside of threads and without spending too much money on the credits, and just use a bunch of libraries, internet libraries to make it really good looking. Let's fix the threads bot scraper. So as you can see, it even got um, kind of a thread spot scraper with the visual information and all that other stuff. What's taking so long? I noticed the threads file isn't complete. It has a comment existing code, which is causing a syntax error. Let me fix this by providing the complete working version of the file. So that's pretty cool. So what do we have here? We got likes, we got a bunch of other stuff. So, I mean, Cursor is it's definitely worth the money, guys, in terms of how much, like, when you can just use Cursor to quickly create exactly what you need. to grow your feudal kingdom and then cancel the subscription and then have it running and then kind of whenever you need it, just turn it on. Okay, guys, it looks like the script has finished. Enter the threads profile scrape. So I apologize for the delays. This is it. Now let's try scrape again. So we're gonna do thread profile. Okay. Then we're gonna include then we're gonna include the password. Once again, guys, I'm gonna change that password, but I figured I'd just show you all this stuff in real time. This makes it easier. So this way you could kind of see everything. We're gonna scrape again. It's kind of interesting take on this. They're using mobile kind of application to grab data. Right? Okay, I actually have to come back and tell it to revisit that article that I showed earlier, and it was able to come up with this article now. So I could quickly check that out. And you now, let's see, since this is working, guys, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna found and extracted 5 threads. Okay, working. Okay, cool. Videos, like count 0. Okay, so now I think, guys, we're pretty much almost there. We're almost there because at this point, we just gotta create, we gotta see if there is a comments section. So what I'm interested is my response below, um, and then it shows reply count, like count, but it doesn't show what's under that reply count. No. Давай.
Хочешь думать?
Мгм.
Ну, сразу лишь внимание. Да. Ну, ты вот такой бедный, но он прогиба наверное, то, что целый день компьютер смотрит сам. Ты взял. Понимаешь, у нас так грязная постель, все в списке тараканы, блядь, бегают, обертки на полу валяются. Посиди нормально, как человек, блядь, будешь. Так уже срать. Я постирала твои трусы, блядь, больше их не обсирай, понял? Я больше твои говняные трусы трогать не буду. Ты что, окно закрыл?
Мгм.
Тебе что, подуло, что ли?
Мгм.
Да?
Да, холодно. Мгм. Мгм.
Холодно, прям?
Да, потому
Ну,
что.
одеяло.
А?
Я думала, наоборот, проветрить
Не,
помещение.
очень холодно.
Может, выключить тогда вентилятор?
Давай.
Ну, окно тогда открыть, я хотела проветрить холодно.
Да?
Да. Вообще, знаешь, что хочу сказать? Ты знаешь, от чего люди умирают?
А чего?
Надо было человек, который спит, а утром не просыпается, да?
А чего?
От того, что он целый день сидел в компьютере, застой крови. Person has to move, понимаешь? You can't just sit all day like this. Понимаешь? Ты должен походить чуть-чуть.
Мгм.
Как бы зарядку делать, понимаешь? То есть ты уже выглядишь как какой-то чупакабра. Я предлагаю пойти пройтись.
Ага.
Понимаешь? Что будешь ног ходить. Правильно?
Мгм.
Ага, тебе какой ветер, слышишь?
Мгм. Майкл, я сам говорил.
Что говорю? Охуеть.
Ну, там
Молодец.
пиздец. А? Даже кондюк не включать.
Сказала, что ты вернул его на тапли.
Ага.
Но они тебе хотят заплатили, то помешали.
Да хрен его знает, я не смотрел даже. По-моему, нет, особо не платили. А,
А ты теперь следующий сюда делал.
не знаю. Там должно быть. Ага. А?
справа, знаешь, своими мокрыми шортами.
Угу.
Они загнили и прогнили, блядь, и так провоняли мне всю одежду. Полотенце, чтобы все стирать, понимаешь? Но я постирала шорты, свои полотенца.
Угу. Ну, хотел в этот какой. Вот, ну, интересное место. Делал это. Никуда. Здесь садик.
Просто гуляла по району.
Угу. Может, делаешь покушать?
Давай не сделала.
Ну, что нормально, я ничего не ел.
Я думаю, что ела. А я
Ну, сделай, может, там есть в холодильнике что-то.
что там бесит, слушай.
Ну, это,
Я только что купила.
ну, что-то. Я же все время ему это видела.
Я... Что ты хочешь спать?
Да. Нет, никакой не помню. А где? Далеко Макдональдс?
Теперь еще Бургер Кинг есть, тоже близко. Ты закачай себе приложение Бургер Кинг. Там что-то будет. Есть много чего хорошего.
Угу.
Знаешь, что я думаю, что как я видела, что она делала.
Угу.
Я хотела, вот,
Да? Ага.
ты знаешь, что некоторые люди, там, нормальные мужики, очень сильные мужики, они хотели, чтобы я упала в аварию.
Да?
Не видят, что я боюсь перестроиться и начинают подрезать. То есть я посмотрела
Ну,
в зеркало, потом в слепую зону, начинаю перестраиваться, и просто машина дает сигнал, что кто-то есть в слепой зоне. Я поворачиваюсь, там араб, блядь, едет на своем тримблете. И она, эта баба, ну, учил, как, блядь, вот пидорас, типа, пиздец, прикинь. Понял?
ну,
То есть вот это вот видите, на хайвее. Я по хайвею ездила.
да.
2 часа ездила по хайвею, ножила, блядь. Но у меня проблема с перестройкой, потому что я как-то нерешительно боюсь, некоторые люди, которые дежурят, понимаешь?
Да.
Ну да. Она сказала, что мне нужно работать над этим. Ну, мне надо побольше ездить, перестраиваться,
Угу.
понимаешь? Вот. Да, так что я думала, что ты знаешь, мне еще надо папа и мою
Ну,
другого, потому что
у
я
меня
делаю,
уже купилка нет, а я не могу так огромные деньги.
ну а что мне делать?
Я понимаю, но
Но я не могу ездить, понимаешь? Я не могу ездить.
у меня просто денег нет, я огромные деньги плачу. Я
Ну, ты
вообще,
знаешь,
я понимаю, но это мне, it's not making me better, okay? Давайте помогу конкретно мне. Да, мы съездим, походим. Сейчас в Макдональдс поехали, давай.
ночью не спалась, у меня 3 часа.
Да.
Который не нравится, который там находится, ну, понял, не понял.
Мгм.
Это основная улица.
Можно туда дойти.
Знаешь, силу не тянуть.
Ну что, пойдем. Дай мне 5 минут, окей? Okay, guys, so what I did, indeed, the scraper is working. I created two versions of ThreadsBot scraper that scrapes your profile, and another version that scrapes URL. So you just add a thread URL and it will scrape all the info, and then you could easily reference this information inside of your analysis. So like you could be analyzing your leads for each individual information that's scraped. And you could also figure it out like who is the appropriate lead to engage with. And also what I'm doing now is extracting another one, like a new version where you could see who responded to which comments on a thread. So I'm doing the detailed comments extraction, including usernames, likes, and counts, and support for nested replies under comments. So essentially what this is going to do is going to analyze comments and reply counts and show the user interaction statistics plus threaded view of comments and their replies and top commenters identification. So now this will save two files for each scrape: raw data original format analysis file focused on comment and interactions, provide summary of the analysis, including total threads, comments, replies, and top in commenters and their statistics and engagement metrics. So this is, we may need to figure it out, like how to do this as well. But over here is you put the Fluid Fusion system. Let's say you wanted to analyze how many replies you have. So let's say we want to do 15 threads, and we wanted to go ahead and analyze them and see which of them have the replies and from who. And then later on, we're going to create a little UI that will place everything together in a nice interface, so you could quickly see who you should be working with kind of people you want to be engaging. So over here, did total threads analysis 15, comments found 0. So let's also test individual thread scraping to see the comment analysis in action. Okay, so over here you see two scraping methods: profile scraping and individual thread scraping. So the original working directory remains unchanged, so you can use either version. So you can use working threads bot scraper for basic thread scraping, and version 1 for detailed comment analysis. So I noticed, okay, so let's work on the working working version, but I didn't see analysis. I didn't see any comments, replies on any of the threads that you analyzed. Can we? So right now, guys, what this is gonna do is gonna try to see, you're right, we need to improve the comment extraction. The issue is that we need to click on the thread to expand it to load all comments before extracting them. Let me modify the script to handle this. So right now, guys, what it's doing, it's pretty much extrapolating information from each individual thread to make it easy to see who commented on a thread. And then we'll be able to grab that information and easily pass that back to user interface, which you can interface with and quickly understand who are the people that you should be dealing with when it comes to selling your products. So for profile scraping, let's see. So for profile scraping now, clicks on each thread to open it fully, waits for comments to load, click view more replies, button when available, scroll to load all comments, return to profile page after processing each feed. So it did all this stuff. So we're gonna add one, enter the thread profile. Let's do 20. So found no, I see we need to finding threads elements. Let me update that. Я думаю, пойдем. Нет, поедем. Потому что, ну, куда мы пойдем-то, понимаешь?
Я не оставляю эту посмотреть.
Abandoned.
You neglect your wife. How is it possible that husband neglects his wife?
М?
Как это возможно? Знаешь, что со мной тут мужик один пожилой живет? Мне кажется, он рядом где-то живет. Я его видела много раз.
Подожди, дальше закончу. Okay, guys, I'm gonna head out, but basically this bot is going to be available for you as part of the Fudal Kingdom Academy. It will allow you to do sentiment analysis and comments, replies, and be able to thread multiple, scrape multiple threads. And it's part of the Threads bots product. So if you guys want to get access to it, you could either purchase Threads bots separately, and you could have like a beautiful UI associated with it as well. I'll show you how to do that and learn how to do that. That's what Threads bots is all about. It's a guide that includes all sorts of automations for you to include that can help you get leads, etc. But yeah, I'm gonna head out. Hopefully you enjoyed this workshop, and I'll make those files available in my repository for Feudal Kingdom Academy members. Anyway, guys, if you want to join my Feudal Kingdom Academy, go to my site, go to buy that link /Freedom Fusion System, take a look at Threads bots, and then register for a workshop, free workshop, where you could ask any other questions. See you next time. Take care.